Stephen A. Smith is in there now. And Stephen A., if you were still writing a column for the Philly Inquirer, I assume your lead would be Kyrie Irving?
Absolutely. Outside of that, it would be how LeBron James was let off the hook simply because of what transpired in the first half. He seemed to be literally in chill mode, very relaxed, relatively nonchalant, no urgency to his game whatsoever. You combine that with the mishap on the part of Tyronn Lue, leaving him in the game in the first half, despite the fact that he had 3 fouls, allowing him to pick up a 4th. Ultimately, that neutralized him because he wasn't going to be able to be as aggressive as he would need to be in the second half, considering the way the Boston Celtics were playing. Then, lo and behold, the one and only Kyrie Irving, the man Kobe Bryant has repeatedly told me has a Mamba mentality, shows up and shows that Kobe Bryant was definitely prophetic. 21 points in the third quarter, put on an absolute show, slicing and dicing through the lane, pulling up for threes, doing what he wanted to do, when he wanted to do it, against whomever was in front of his face, and essentially taking King James, the best player in the world, off the hook, because there was a level of urgency that Kyrie Irving had that he was willing to embrace and adopt. He basically validated why so many people, regardless of the greatness of LeBron James, repeatedly look to Kyrie Irving and call him the closer for Cleveland, because when the pressure mounts, he rises to the occasion. He's not front running. We can't say that about everybody else on Cleveland tonight. Certainly not tonight.
Yeah, their bench is rancid right now, Stephen A. Kyle Korver plays 20 minutes, doesn't score. Richard Jefferson doesn't score. They're outscored 23-7. And you mentioned LeBron looks a bit indifferent. I agree. The foul trouble might have been a good thing. He played 38 minutes. Man, Ty Lue was riding him, played 45 in Game 3. Any reason in your mind why these last 2 games he does appear just a bit chill?
I have no idea. I really have no idea. What I suspect, however, no proof of this whatsoever. This is just my personal, humble opinion. I think LeBron James is making an effort to try and change the narrative. LeBron James is at his best when there's minimal pressure. It's not to say he hasn't performed under pressure before, because he has, but there are many moments when he has not. But if you're going to go against Golden State, knowing this team wants you desperately, which owner Joe Lacob confirmed just a few hours ago, they want the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know this. So if you go into the finals and everybody looks at Cleveland playing stout basketball, elite basketball, and you look at what Golden State has done, then you have a problem picking who's going to win. Of course, Golden State would be the favorite, but at the same time, you're looking at Cleveland and saying, wait a minute here, they got the best player in the world. He does what he's supposed to do. They could beat Golden State. Well, guess what? That applies added pressure to the shoulders of LeBron James. But if you're struggling against the Boston Celtics and struggling to end this series and looking relatively subpar and not being the dominant presence that you look like against Indiana, against Toronto, and the first 2 games against Boston, then all of a sudden you go into the finals playing with house money, because we're saying there's no way in hell you could beat Golden State. Those are ideal circumstances for LeBron James to perform under. As the pressure mounts, those are not ideal, because then we nitpick and we dissect and we say you didn't do it here, you didn't do it here, you didn't do it there. Kyrie Irving doesn't care about any of that. But history has shown us LeBron James tends to care about that from time to time. It's the only explanation that I could give you as to why he has looked the way that he has looked over the last 2 games. He wants to walk into the finals playing with house money, with everybody looking at Golden State saying, y'all are the favorites and LeBron is the underdog. He comes out of nowhere and squashes everybody. But when the pressure is on his shoulders, not to say he can't handle the way it appears to be for Kyrie, that would be my explanation.
The A in Stephen A is